another adjustment layer exercise here. So I'm going to go to File, Open, and then I'm going to open up the one that is called Hue Saturation and open. All right, I'm going to go back down to my black and white cookie, my adjustment layers icon in my layers palette, and I'm going to select Hue Saturation, and the properties panel pops up. And it's going to ask me what color do I want to change here. So color here is referred to as hue. And I can also play with the saturation and the lightness of that hue. So I can adjust overall hue in the image, but I actually only want to target one area. So you can come down here and pick the color, or you could actually use the touch icon. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to select it and select the yellow here, and automatically it detects that I want to change the hues of yellow. And now when I click and drag, notice that it's only changing the yellow hues in this photograph. All right, so I'm changing it to red, and I can also play around with the saturation of how red that is saturated, and the lightness and darkness of that. Okay, now notice that it's affecting the entire image, and I only want it to actually affect this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase part of the masks so that I'm only coloring this fabric right here. So with my paintbrush tool, I have it set to black, and I can go up here and change the hardness to 0, and I'm going to make it slightly bigger. And remember, you can kind of play around with this with the right curly bracket to make it bigger, or the left curly bracket on your keyboard to make it smaller. And with my mask selected, I'm going to paint, and I'm going to make it way bigger so that I can get this. Now notice that, did you see how all this redness is kind of disappearing? Because now the layer mask is only being applied to that area that is white here. So that's kind of the magic of masks and adjustment layers, that you can actually just apply it to part of it. And notice that I just did a really quick, I'm going to get a little bit smaller. I just did a quick swipe. All right, so now everything black, it's not affecting, and then everything that white, it is. Now notice that I went a little bit too hard, too close to her, so I'm going to right click and change it to white. And I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to go back over this area because I got a little bit too close around the edges. So I'm just going to bring that red back. And that's looking good to me. That's, again, the magic of masks, is that you can go back and paint between black and white. All right, I'm done with this one, so I'm going to say File, Save As. First name, last name, hue, saturation, today's date. And I'm going to save this as a JPEG. Save and OK.